Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. I appreciate everyone that comes in during the live. Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe. I appreciate that. And then particularly Team Replay. When you rewatch the video, that actually does help my channel. So I appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much for joining the live if you're able to join the live. And then thank you for Team Replay that's able to come in. Now, there is actually a topic that has been in play for a few days since Essence Festival. Some of you have heard about Funky Dineva and Claudia Jordan and him trying to actually circle the block. And you can see my title and thumbnails. Don't let them circle the block. Let them circle the drain. Because what this person is trying to do, in my opinion, is use Claudia. And again, let me run my banner. Good morning, Linda Gamble. I appreciate you coming in. That's one of the moderators and actually moderator extraordinaire. She does like to support channels. So I appreciate that so much. And I'm going to make sure I'm running a banner because this is my opinion. And I do like to speak about topics that are of interest to the community, especially my 92 percenters. And then also our recap reality shows. There are different things that I like to cover on this channel. But everything said on my video, it is alleged, and it's in my own opinion. And the copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. So allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, etc. So thank you so much. And thank you, Linda Gamble, for greeting me and then also letting everybody know. Just hit the like button on your way into the chat. I appreciate that so much. Those of you that come in or this is during your workday, that is fine. Just click the like button. You can stay in the bushes. We appreciate you either. Yes, and don't mention any content creators in the chat, please. And thank you. Thank you so much. And this topic, one of the people involved is a content creator. So that is the person I'm speaking of, but please, as Linda Gamble, our moderator, knows, don't mention any content creators in the chat, please, and thank you. Thank you so much. So Claudia Jordan had the opportunity, I guess I'll call it the opportunity, to work with Funky Dineva, as everybody knows, on Fox Soul. They had a show called TGIF, and that was also with Al Reynolds. And what happened with that show is that there were a lot of behind the scenes shenanigans that went on. And then eventually Funky ended up leaving the show, and they were trying to bring other people on the show to replace him. And they were kind of giving people an opportunity on the air to see who would be a good fit. But there was still a lot of behind the scenes shenanigans that were going on within that show. So we all know about that. The Essence Festival happened down in New Orleans last week, and we find out that Funky has been in touch with Claudia Jordan. They were able to text each other, and then he asked her to appear at an event that he was having. Now, we know that almost one of his brands is called Down to the Bar, because Funky likes to be down to the bar, and he does use that as a brand. So Claudia Jordan has moved on since Fox Soul declined to continue working with TGIF because of some of the backstage shenanigans that were going on. Funky was the first to leave, but he didn't leave quietly. One of the content creators, one of the ones that I love to watch, Queen Sheba, has a saying where she's saying, close the door quietly. Funky did not close the door quietly. Those of you unfamiliar, Funky actually not even closing the door quietly. This man repeatedly talked about Claudia Jordan. Now, another co-worker that they had, part of that 3-person panel, was Al Reynolds. They are not friends. In my opinion, I don't even think Al and Funky like each other. But Claudia brought the two of them in to work with her, and they were able to somehow, the whole show is no longer. Claudia has moved on. Claudia, I'm going to pull up her Instagram. She has been a media personality for a couple of decades. So Claudia Jordan has been out there working. Now, I will admit, I met her watching, I still watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's just one of the places that I got to see her and how she presents herself. Deal or No Deal, a ton of guests wrote Price is Right. Y'all, Claudia Jordan has been out there for decades. Claudia is Gen X. She's, I guess, right at 50. So Claudia is a seasoned working lady, and she knows her stuff. She was able to get Funky Dineva, in my opinion, into places that he normally would not have been in. That's my opinion. Al Reynolds has been kind of on the circles of this world as well, but he's not, I don't see him out and about either. He used to do little guest starring roles, kind of, and it would be reality TV. We've seen him as friend to Jennifer Williams on Basketball Wives. He gets women and he is friends or more with them for his own purposes. He won't let you mention her around him now, but everyone knows that he was famously married to Star Jones back in the 90s, okay? So that is how we know Al Reynolds. But Claudia Jordan put this together, brought it to Fox Soul, and the rumor is, and the figure that's not been disputed by any of them, is that there was money on the table they were making in the area of $250,000 annually, each person. And that doesn't include what you're able to do, your own separate brand deals, building up something else. Because Funky was known, to me, the first place I heard of Funky Dineva was here on YouTube. He was a YouTube personality. He would act like he was calling his friend Nessa girl. He'd have on a wig and he would recap the Real Housewives. And it was really funny. He would have his red lipstick on, just exaggerated version of the Real Housewives. Now, the Funky then and the Funky now, the surface, the aesthetic is a little different. He appears to have grown up a little bit, in my opinion. He appears to have matured slightly, in my opinion. That's appearance. Funky with that wig on and the red lips, to me, I don't see a lot of change, especially how he handled Claudia. When he left TGIF, and it had something to do with his contract, and he's mentioning $250. I don't know the details of that, because when I first heard $250, it didn't sound real, that a person would give up, throw back in the person's face a $250,000 annually opportunity over $250 and health insurance. When you have private healthcare exchanges, you don't have to be employed directly with a company now. You can go to a website. I'm not sure if Obamacare is still one that people are able to utilize, but that is one that a lot of people that run their own businesses, or they just don't have their healthcare through their job, or they may be part-time and not have the hours. You can buy your own private health insurance. That's no reason to lose a six-figure opportunity annually over health insurance. But that's what Funky did. So now he's back. He's circling the block. He's speaking sweetly to Claudia. He is trying to get back in Claudia's face and under her wing and get some more opportunities from her. Now, one of the other reasons he said he left was because he didn't need it. He said he didn't need that job. He didn't need that role. He had YouTube, and why would he sit up there with three people and have fixed hours like an official job when he can come on YouTube and have his own hours and make the same money or twice the money? That's the kind of stuff that Funky was talking. And in addition to that, he was speaking very negatively of Claudia. I've heard him with my own ears a couple of times call Claudia out of her name. I never heard Claudia do that to Funky. And if you've seen Claudia can read, Claudia can get with you, but she's very professional. And that is not something, that's not an energy she gives unless she's getting that. When she was doing that on Real Housewives with Nene, that was something for the viewer's pleasure. That was sparring. She didn't do that to Funky Dineva when he left that job. He went back over there on YouTube, very large platform, and did that to her. So I'm just looking at the whole situation. Nothing surprises me anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if she allowed him to work with her again, but I will be more than happy, ecstatic, if she just decides to move forward, accept whatever apology he gave. I didn't really hear an apology. I heard him say they had lightning in a bottle and he wants the band back together and that sort of thing as it relates to him and what she could do for him. But I haven't heard him take any accountability for what he did after he had left TGIF. I don't know why. There's no such thing as a real time slot. You go on when you go on, and that's your business, because we have team replay. Somebody could be on live at the same time as you. You could sneak in their chat and look. You can go back over here. You can team replay. You could do what you want to do. But Fox Soul, we know that they did have time slot. When Funky left, he made a point of, I'm going on the same time as them. And he would mock Claudia as to, how are your viewers? How are your viewers? And he let his Funky Bunch and other people, not all of them, because I've seen people that are Funky Bunch that still watch him. I haven't watched him in years, but I've seen some of his people saying, I love him, but he's wrong. And that's good. You always need people that are able to do that. But there's a larger percentage of them who do not see any wrong in what he does. Disparaging her, calling her out of her name, trying to wreck what she had built once he was no longer a part of it. I saw that, and that was unnecessary. It was uncalled for. It appeared to be very hurtful to Claudia. I'm going to turn my camera off for a minute because I want to share. I'm going to present my screen, and then I want to share what Claudia actually has. She's still on YouTube, a large platform. She is with Carlos King and Dustin over on his Reality with the King on Mondays. And then there's an Accidentally Informed podcast that she does on YouTube with Erica Cobb. So they invited Funky. They had him over there recently, which was actually last night, Wednesday. He was over there and he was doing kind of the same old song and dance. And to me, he was trying to run their thing. I was a little surprised to see them kind of allow that. But I will give it to Erica. Erica, she didn't allow him to take over. Claudia, to me, in a way, she was kind of shrinking a little bit from Funky. I think she doesn't want to go gutter the way that he is willing to go gutter. And I think Claudia doesn't like that. But I just want to show you a little piece of what she showcased, what he said over there. Let me just pull this up. One moment. I'm going to share my screen and then I'll be able to show you what he was doing over there on her podcast. And thank you for your patience while I do this. Okay, Instagram. And then I'll make sure it's turned up loud enough where we can hear it. Let's see.
Without giving credit to Claudia, who was the brainchild behind bringing all of us together. You guys know how it started with us kicking it at Cynthia Bailey's wedding. The story's all over the internet. You guys can go back and rehash it. But you felt something, you saw something, you brought us all together, and it was magic. And it's the feeling that I miss. Mm-hmm. I miss the feel. Like I'm telling you, when I saw those clips and just me cracking a joke and like your natural expressions when I'd be going and then Al over there laughing uncontrollable. It's like a drug. I miss that high. I do miss that high. And I just wonder if there is a world, a universe where we get the high back without the bullshit.
That would be amazing.
It's like a drug. I miss that high.
Okay, that's the repeat. So now, I don't know what Claudia's going to do, y'all. As I said, nothing surprises me. If he were to go back, that wouldn't shock me. If she were to take him back, I would be disappointed because I don't trust Funky on that level. I don't trust Funky when it comes to that, seeing how he treated her when he left. And he didn't have to do all that. I don't know why he left speaking negatively of her. I don't know why he did any of that, but he did. And I trust somebody, what they show me. He could do it again if he's given the opportunity. And you can accept an apology, and that doesn't mean you let somebody circle the block on you, because they could be the right personality type. Possibly he's coming back to finish you off. And I think that's what Funky's doing with Claudia. I think he sees her still thriving. She's picked herself up. She's able to move on. And I think that he is a little bit jealous of that. Now, he has a personality type. To me, he's jealous. I actually would see that in a lot of his commentary. He started out, as I said, recapping the Housewives, and it was usually a lot of fun. But then also Funky was really bad about, sometimes he would cross over into a personal space. And I would think it would have to do with jealousy. If he was close to a housewife or he was able to maneuver his way in and be friends, there's another franchise he does that on as well, Married to Medicine. He was able to use Quad. They're supposedly friends, but I think it's more of an alliance where Quad might even be afraid that he would come out and treat her the way that he treated Mariah Huck. I don't know why these women allow the personality types of a Funky or even a Carlos King to get close to them, because in my opinion, it's not smart to do, because there is an envy and a jealousy there that I've seen in Carlos King. I've also seen, right now we're talking about Funky. So that is what's going on with that. That is something that it's kind of unnerving to see it. But, for some reason, Claudia and people like her keep being fooled by it. So I just wanted to bring you up to date, show you that little clip. The other thing that he said was kind of put a red flag up. He said he misses the high. So he's not looking for it as a job or anything like that. Him missing the high and him wanting the band back together is strictly for him. It has nothing to do with Claudia. It's for him. It's for what the benefit will be to him. So he's still all about him, what he wants to do. And I think that he is going to be a detriment to Claudia as he was initially. I think he'll be that again. So this was just a really short Sandra P's Gen Extra, my take on the situation. We'll be talking about this all along the YouTube streets. You will hear from me again on this, I am sure. I'm going to keep this pretty short because I have a pre-scheduled live. This was impromptu. This was kind of last minute, but I have a pre-scheduled live that I'm going to do. I have a few Next Gen NYC and Real Housewives of Miami, 2 other shows that I recap currently and that are in its current season. Have a few extras on the cast that I'm going to speak about in a few minutes. So at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, I'll be back. Join me if you can. If you cannot, I would appreciate Team Replay, but go over there if you have time. The podcast that Claudia does on Wednesdays with Erica Cobb is called Accidentally Informed, and you'll get to see Funky in his true element. He held it together a little bit, but you could see kind of what he's doing, how he's trying to draw her back in. And I'm saying, Claudia, no, Claudia, you're in danger, girl. Don't do it. Don't trust him. He's shown you already what it is. You've laid him out $250,000 annually on a platter, and all he had to do was work. And you'll see him in that interview say he didn't like to work. He told Claudia that I don't like to work. So much so, he wanted to be down to the bar on Friday. Excuse me for bringing back in, but this came to my mind. He wanted to be down to the bar so bad on Fridays, he actually had it written in where Claudia and Al, they would double shoot the show on Thursday so that Funky could be off on Fridays. And they have a 4-day week working. Funky's not going to get an opportunity like that again. It's just going to be him, and he is going to be the one carrying the whole load again. And I hope that Claudia doesn't try to put lightning back in a bottle. I want her to continue on her own journey, moving forward and not looking back. She can accept what he gave as an apology and just continue to move forward. I don't want to see her revisit the past. I think it could be very negative and possibly dangerous for her career, because the way that man wanted to kill her career and her reputation is something to be studied. It was really unnecessary and it was hurtful. And just watch the podcast. You'll see at a certain point when he doubles down on something she didn't think he would, Claudia's eyes got kind of shiny. And I'm like, Claudia, I know you're not crying over this ninja. He's very ungrateful. Don't let him circle the block. All of us can use that as a lesson in our own life. Accept the apology and move on. Don't go backwards with these people. Look at Ashanti and Nelly over there. It was cute at first, but to marry the ninja and him embarrass you weekly on TV, no thank you. Well, thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra, and I will see you in the YouTube streets. I appreciate you stopping by. Team Replay, like. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and like. Thank you so much. Linda Gamble, my moderator, I appreciate you as well. Have a great day. Bye.